I'm excited and nervous at the same time. Okay, well, let's get into it. Hey y'all, as you just saw a couple seconds ago, I'm Caitlin Johnson, and I'm gonna go ahead and be frank. I wanna go to the Olympics in 2028. And today I'm going to be talking about a little bit of my background and all of the times I've failed and how I have the courage to keep trying. Before we get started, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Y'all, this is my first ever official YouTube video, and I'm so excited to join the YouTube community and grow my channel. All right, now let's get into it. So when I was 3 years old, my mom put me into dance classes, and I did that till I was about 6 or 7. And then one day she asked me if I wanted to keep dancing, do cheer, or do gymnastics, and I chose cheer. I originally started cheering when I was like 6, I think. And y'all, it wasn't even no real cheer gym. It was like some YMCA like program or something like that. Like, it wasn't like no real gym. And y'all, can we just take a second to appreciate how good my straddle was back then? Like, I wasn't too far removed from dance at that point, and dancers have like the best straddles. So straddle was good. Anyways, so my mom took me out of it. Only did it for like a year. I think we couldn't like afford it anymore. And y'all, cheer is expensive, and that wasn't even a real gym. So yeah. Then at age 9, my mom put me back in cheer again, but it still was like not a real gym. It was almost like school cheer, except it was like for Pee-wee or Pop Warner football or something like that. So no stunting, no tumbling, no none of that. It was just like sideline cheer. Then from ages 9 to 14, I did swim. Yes, swim. And y'all, I hated swim. Like, I liked it at first, and the only reason why I stayed in it as long as I did is because I liked the competitiveness of it. And not gonna lie, it was pretty good. Like, I usually made it to finals every city meet, which is like the biggest meet of the year, and I was like ranked in butterfly and backstroke and stuff like that. But I hated it. Like, when people ask me to this day if I still swim, and it really makes me mad. Like, I really hate when people ask me that, because I don't even like to identify that I used to swim. Like, I was good at it, yes, and I feel like that's why a lot of people still ask me if I swim, but I didn't like it. So, and y'all, I always knew like deep down that I really wanted to cheer. And so when I was like 10, I think I started tumbling, but like just tumbling, because we couldn't afford like a real gym to actually compete and be on a team. And even with tumbling, I was only going like few and far in between, so I wasn't like actually truly progressing. So I started teaching myself. And a lot of my tumbling like basic skills are self-taught. So finally, when I was 15, I got a job because I wanted to cheer. And so I started cheering at this gym called GAC, stands for Greensboro All-Star Cheerleading, and I miss that gym so much. But yeah, so, and even then I still could not compete. Like, I didn't start competing till the next year. I could still only tumble. But at that point, like, I was such a freaking gym rat. I was just so excited to like be a part of the gym, even though I wasn't like on a team at that gym. And I was in there every single day, tumbling, just doing all the classes and all that stuff, because I just love being in there. I love the atmosphere and stuff. So I came back that next season, and I actually made a Worlds team that season, which was pretty cool. But it was like a non-tumbles Worlds team, but you know, whatever, right? So I actually met Gabby Butler at Worlds that season, and that was pretty cool. It was a really good season. Like, overall, we didn't make it to finals at Worlds or anything like that, so it was pretty much like, you know, one and done. But I'm just glad that I got to enjoy at least that season. Then I got to college, and I go to North Carolina A&T State University, and I tried out my freshman year for cheer there, and I didn't make it, and I was very distraught. Like, I was bent out of shape. I was hurt. I think at that tryout, I threw right off handspring tuck on dead floor and standing 3 back handspring series and a toe to tuck. That's all they asked for though. So I threw what they told me to throw. But yeah, I was very depressed about that. And to make matters worse, I guess, like that next year, like my sophomore year, when I was 18 and 19, I got very sick. Like, I was back and forth to the doctor, in the hospital and stuff like that. Like, I was bleeding like internally, and they thought I had cancer. Luckily I didn't. But yeah, not to get TMI, but every time I would go to the bathroom and take a dump, like I would bleed like a whole lot. And I was like really, really sick, really, really weak, lost a lot of weight, I lost a lot of strength, and I lost all of my tumbling. Everything that I've ever worked hard for, gone. I just wasn't strong enough to do it because I was so sick. I was always, you know, at the doctors and stuff and taking all these medicines they was giving me, and I don't know, it just put like kind of cheer like on a hiatus, I guess, so to speak. So then I look up and I'm a junior in college and I'm like, oh shoot, this is my last year to try out. When I tell you I worked my butt off to get all of my tumbling back, all of it back. I worked so hard every single day. The coach that I had at JAC stopped working there, and so I would drive all the way out to Cheer Extreme, which is about, I'm gonna say 30-ish minutes away from like my school. I think it's a little more, but I would drive out there and back in between my classes to do tumbling because I needed to get it back, and I didn't have the time, so I made the time and I went between my classes. That year in particular was even more difficult because that was the first year that A&T went to Daytona and they only lost by 1/10 of a point. And this was the first year that they were doing invitation only tryouts. So I was like, had to work 10 billion times as hard because I had to get all of my tumbling back. I had not cheered in almost 2 years. I had been terribly sick. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, this is like my last chance and I might not even get the opportunity to try out. So I'm all like, I need to buckle down. So they gave you this list of skills that you had to get videos of and send to this email. It was like standing tuck, standing to the lay, round up handspring lay, like 2 running passes and some stunts. So I have friends that go to UNC Charlotte and they were having a stunt clinic around the time when my videos were like almost due, and they know I needed my stunt videos. So I went to that clinic and I had a great time stunting with my friends and stuff. So I started calling around gyms to see if I can get a private or a class or something that week because I needed to get my videos, because I think like I had maybe a week and a half left to get all of them and I still did not have all of them. And so I also contacted Tumble Doctor, aka Alvin Davis, because yeah, I needed help and I was kind of that desperate. So, and I never ever thought in a million years, as big and famous as he is, that he would ever contact me back or have the time for me or any of that. But by the grace of God, he did. Y'all, and I still talk to Alvin Davis to this day. I mean, we've been continuously talking since that day when I needed him to help me get ready for trials and stuff. And he's like the best ever, like he's great. But anyways, so I ended up getting the last of my videos at Cheer Athletics Charlotte, and I still tumble there to this day. I love that gym. I'm not on a team there, but I'm there all the time. So I end up getting invited to tryouts, so that was good. And I was really shocked because one, I had a lot of courage to have the nerve to come back after losing pretty much all of my skills. And, you know, secondly, I didn't even think that they was going to choose me. So I was like, shoot, great, we trying out, you know? And the day that I got the email that I got invited and the day that tryouts was a 6 weeks, you know, time span apart. So I had 6 weeks to get my life together and get my technique like clean and crisp, and I had to get it together. I had to get myself together, okay? I worked every single day. It did not matter the condition. Every single day to get to where I know I needed to be. I went from like barely like level 2 standing to like level 5 in like 20 days. I'm not kidding. And I went from hardly throwing my back handspring, there was a hot mess, to throwing freaking 2 to lays within the 6 week time span. And that's one of the passes that I threw at tryouts. So that just like the amount of improvement that I made from the hard work that I put in just blew my mind. So on the days that I didn't go to the gym, or even on the days that I went to the gym, it didn't matter. I would tumble 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. And I would go to this field And it didn't matter if it was daytime, nighttime, rain, sleet, snow. Like one time I was out there, it was like 29 degrees outside, y'all. And I was out there at like 7, 8 in the morning. And I know nobody else was. That's why I was, well, that's not why I was doing it. But, you know, I know nobody else was doing it. Being out there in the grass tumbling every single day to get better. So, yeah, I would do that. And it was just one time that I was at work on a day that I had to tumble in Charlotte. And I had a flat tire. I had a flat tire and I had to be there at 4, I think, and I got off at 2. And like I just said, it's about a 90-minute drive. Y'all, I went to a shop, got my tire fixed, paid for the tire, and I was at my private at 357. Don't play with me. And I say all that to say it did not matter the circumstance, even though sometimes the circumstances weren't in my favor. I still worked hard to get what I wanted to get. And I also spent ample time like rewiring my brain and my mindset. That's really where most of the work happened, was up here. Like, yeah, I was working hard physically, but they were really going hand in hand, you know, like the confidence and the resilience and all that stuff. I was training that muscle up here because I know I was going to need that at tryout. I'm going to need it for life. Shoot. So tryouts come, and tryouts were 3 days long. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, it was skimp up in there with these invitations, all exclusive and stuff. It was skimp. Like, so not including the returners or the people who are already on the team, you know, coming out to try out for the next season, it was about 25, 30 of us. So I was pretty proud to be amongst the best of the best athletes, you know, at this tryout. And I'm not gonna say I wasn't fit to be there, because I got invited, but I mean, I was just amazed at what I was able to accomplish, and, you know, coming back after being through so much and getting my skills back and whatnot. My neighbors are over there talking loud or arguing or whatever. I don't really know, but we're gonna keep rolling because I'm in the middle of telling a story. So if you hear, just ignore it. Where was I? So yeah, unfortunately I got cut the first day. Like I said, tryouts was 3 days, and y'all, I went into a depression that you would not believe. It was terrible. I don't even want to go into detail. I was just down, really down bad, because I felt like that was my last chance to cheer, and I blew it, I guess. I just failed. And if that's a tender word for people, whatever, I did not achieve the thing that I wanted to achieve, okay? So whatever you want to call it, but I'm gonna call it a spade. I failed. All right? That was like my last chance to ever cheer collegiately. And now I'm not gonna be able to. Something in me was like, nah, I ain't done. I'm not done. Like, I'm not done until I am the best. Because I said so. I know the circumstances around me don't look like that right now. Whatever. And I had rewired my brain so heavily that I couldn't think any other way. Like, I didn't rewire it overnight, so it's not gonna unrewire overnight. So my wheels are just turning, and I felt a little crazy because what I was in, the situation I was in, was not matching what I was thinking up here. So I started thinking, am I thinking too small? Is this like, am I thinking too small? Like, you know, rejection is God's protection, because it's gotta be something next. It's gotta be something more to this, you know, because I ain't gonna put in all that work and not get something from it. Like, oh, once upon a time I used to cheer. No, ain't no once upon a time. So I started doing some research. I did some research, and I saw, hopefully, allegedly, whatever, that cheerleading might become an Olympic sport in 2028. And I'm going. And I don't want to just go. I want to win gold in an unprecedented way, whatever that means. I don't know how, and I'm not even worried about the how right now. All I have is my faith. And y'all, I'm talking about going to the Olympics. I only have a full. Working on it though, working on it. And yeah, I'm 20 years old, a rising senior in college. There's kids half my age that can tumble circles around me, but that's fine. That's fine, because I'm gonna get better and work harder to get better. So as you can see, I failed quite a few times. And notice I have not called myself a failure. I'm not gonna label myself as like a character trait. I just, like I said earlier, call a spade a spade. But yeah, I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve, whether that be because of circumstances, setbacks, or whatever the case may be. But I'm telling you now, I'm not gonna stop till I get there, because I know one thing. This right here, this is not enough. This is not enough, y'all. This thing is white. This is a participation medal. This ain't no world champion gold medal. And even if cheer is not an Olympic sport in 2028, be on ICU or something. And for those of you who don't know what ICU is, it's kind of like what is currently the Olympic Team USA for cheerleading. Look it up. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah. So if not, or be a world champion or something, be on ICU, be a world champion if it's not an Olympic sport, something. But I'm not satisfied with participation, so I'm gonna keep going until I am satisfied, and I'm not gonna be satisfied until I'm the best. I keep operating off this unbeatable attitude, and I'm not even on a team right now. Like, I'm just tumbling, but I'm gonna keep telling myself that I'm the best, even though I'm not. But I'm gonna keep saying it until I am. Delusional, maybe a little bit, but I'm gonna speak those things that are not as though they are. Quick disclaimer, this is not just for cheerleaders, okay? Like, this is for everybody. Just take out cheer and put whatever you do in the blank, you know, whether that be writing, or you're a teacher, or you canoe, you're a chef, or whatever it is, whatever your craft is, whatever you love and you want to be the best at, then just use cheer as a metaphor, you know? Like, for example, in Rocky, I don't really know the first thing about boxing, but you're not gonna sit here and tell me that everybody cannot relate to Rocky. Like, are you serious? It wasn't about like the actual sport of boxing, you know? It was about how he did his best and worked hard even when nobody else believed in him, about getting hit, like in that sense literally, and getting back up and going the distance. And honestly, to me, going the distance is just another way of saying failing, but still trying. Okay, y'all, that's it for today. I have a ton of more videos planned. Let me know down in the comments if y'all want a video about what actually happened at tryouts and how I got prepared for tryouts. I also want to make a video about mind blocks. Now, I know that mind blocks is more of a cheerleader, gymnastics world type term, and I know I just said that this content is for everybody, and it still is, because mind blocks is literally just being afraid to do what you know you are capable of doing. And I really want to make a video about that, because I get those a lot when tumbling and even other things too, and I feel like I'm qualified to make a video about it. I also want to talk about the secret to confidence, and I'm going to make a video about how to deal with failure and all about my side hustles, because cheer is expensive, okay? I also have some horrific story times about the jobs I used to work to pay for cheer. I used to work at Walmart. Yeah, that should speak for itself. Y'all, being a cashier is not for the weak. I have plenty of story times about the horrors that I've had to deal with, so stay tuned for that. Thank y'all so much for watching. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to put a clickable subscribe button in the bottom right corner of this video, and I'm also going to link it in the description. I'm so excited to get this YouTube thing rolling. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. All right, see y'all later.